Make a quick video. Thought I'd show you how to find coins or stocks, I guess. Well, at least coins that are moving, crypto coins that are moving for the day. If you don't have access to the symbolic scan engine, what I like to do is come over here on tradingview.com. If you get it loaded up, let's just pretend you're, just type in tradingview.com on your address line here. This is what you're going to see. So you go to products right here, go to screener, and then you go over to your crypto pairs. Now I've got this saved as a setting. You can save your columns however you want it. You can set your stochastic RSI. You can come over here and change your filters into seeing what you want set up. Let's see exactly how to do that. Yeah, okay, right here. So you toggle all these that you want to be shown as your headline columns. So I like to see the exchange, high, low. I don't really need that, but I may actually take that off. The price. I do definitely want to see this stochastic RSI, your technical rating. That gives you your strong buy, sell signal over here. I haven't really paid much attention to whether that works or not. Your technical rating, that's what that is, and your volume. Volume's fairly important. I think it's really important. If you don't, if you only have a few thousand coins or whatever shares traded per day, you're not really, there's not enough people participating in that market. So what I've been told is you don't want to be more than 10% of the total volume for the day, or you're pretty much trading against yourself. So you can literally manipulate the price, and if you don't have, so with crypto, you probably want at least, I'd say 1 million to at least 500,000 coins, traded per day. I've got it set down to 100,000, but you can trade, you can change that. You can come up here and, matter of fact, I might just do that right now and hit enter, change that, and just click outside of it, and it should save it. And then after you change everything, you'd want to save it. I'm just going to save it as what I have it as. So what I set up over here is your price action crossing up your simple moving average, your 20 day simple moving average. So right here's your time frame. You can search for this all the way down to a 1 minute. You got a 1 month, weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour. I look at it on a daily to a 4 hour probably. If you were doing shorter term trades, you could change it to a 4 hour or a 1 hour. But for what I call about a 6 to a 9 day trade, you really want to set up at least on a daily first. Ideally, you want it, price action confirming up action on a weekly basis, to be what I call a perfect setup. And even those can go against you. But so to set up this simple moving average scan, you're scanning the market, you're scanning the whole market. And this is my main broker right here that I use, MEXC, MEXC. So if you're using like Coinbase or whatever, you'd want to come down here and toggle Coinbase, and then that's going to find everything that you can possibly trade. So, and I have seen some things that are traded on Coinbase that MEXC doesn't have. So, I mean, I definitely trade mostly on the MEXC, but for now. So what I want is right here on your price action, you got price action crosses up. That's what you want. And then right here, you click your simple moving average 20. I use an 18 ideally on my charts, but you can't change this, as far as I know, to a different time frame. So I just selected the simple moving average 20, and that's about close enough. So and you click your current trading day. You can set your volume however you want. I don't think I chose anything else. I mean, technically, ideally, I want to see my stochastic RSI also above 50. If I can find it, let's see. I've been wanting to change that anyway. Stochastic. Let's see. Stochastic RSI. Here we go. Let's get above 50. There we go. Hit enter. Should save it. Close that out. Here we go. See, it saved it. And you can sort high to low. Click that. Left click your mouse on that high to low. Ideally, 50 to, I'd say 70, maybe 80. But like this one here, this AI GPT, you're already at 100 stochastic RSI. So that thing may have already kind of, run its course. I mean, it could still go up. It could still go up more. I mean, obviously, it has to have a lot of momentum to do that. But like you go to a 4-day or a daily, see how much volume it's got. It's traded 9 trillion shares. They're coins. It's a sub penny coin though, so I can't even get my TD sequential to work on it, but I might refresh it. Sometimes it'll work, but this one's the price action must be kind of sporadic on this one, or my TD sequential is not even picking up on this. So, but you see my light blue line, that's my 18-day moving average. That if you put it on a daily, and your price action is above that right now. Now, ideally, you'd want to wait. That's the hard part, is the patience. You really need to wait till the end of the day at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time with daylight savings times activated. You wait till 7 o'clock and make sure you're closing above this 18-day moving average, ideally. If you want to improve your odds of success even more, you'd wait 2 days, get 2 days closing above your 18-day moving average, and then that's a pretty solid buy signal for the most part. So, excuse me. So that's what I've been doing. It's an easy way to just kind of see what's moving, what's not, what's strong, what's weak. You could do the reverse if you wanted to bet against something. Now I've also got toggled. Let's see. Where did I do that? There's a type somewhere. You put the type symbol. Here we go. Symbol type. So you can toggle any, or you can get futures, spot, or perpetual, I just toggled any right here on the symbol type. And then that way, so you can also trade perpetuals. If you want to bet against something, it's got to have this .p on the end of it for MEXC anyway, to bet against it. You probably either had to be MEXC or you'd have to use Bybit as an exchange to bet against anything, to short sell it. That's a little more high risk. You got to really know what you're doing, or you can lose your money really quick. So, I'll try to make a video on that later. That'd be a whole different bag of worms there. But so we sort these, high to low. Like I say, this AI GPT, anything with AI on it, artificial intelligence, that's pretty strong right now. All you have to do is put AI in your ticker symbol, and you're gonna probably do pretty good. But now weekly, I don't know. That's not great. Not a great strong weekly signal yet. But so we'll keep an eye on it. I don't know. You never know. You get one of these. They call this a God candle. You get one of these spikes right here, just sell half, take a profit, But, there's no guarantee. Now, another thing you got to watch here, so when you toggle your, like I've seen some, like say we come down to, where was that? Say Mana. Mana's moving. See, it went right to Coinbase, which is okay if you trade with Coinbase. But really watch this right here, because sometimes it'll bring up like Binance. It'll load up Binance, and so you want to either trade on make sure you're on your broker that you're using, and select that. See, ideally, I don't even see a MEXC right there on that, but. Well, you could trade it on Coinbase. You can get it. Looks like you could trade Mana on Coinbase. So, and then once you select on Super Charts, then that'll bring up your chart. And you just want to set up your 18-day moving average. So you come over here and do search for SMA. I've got it toggled as a favorite. You just left click it one time. That's going to add it to your chart. You can do 3 indicators for free, and then you click on your little settings wheel, and you'd want to change your length to an 18, ideally, or you can do a 20, just to verify. And you can make it whatever color you want right here. Let's use a white one. It'll stand out better. I usually change the thickness of it a little bit to make it stand out. You can see it better. Click OK. And then that way, you can see where I could put a 20 on that, because I already have an 18. So let's just put a 20, and then that way we'll see if how close it is to the price action. Zoom in on it here, and that tells you pretty good what you got. So let's see. So it's definitely, you've got 2 days. Well, that's a 4-hour. Hang on, make sure you're on the right time frame up here. That's daily. This D right here. So make sure you got that. Yeah. Let's see. Yesterday it closed below that 20-day. It was above the 18-day. And then today you're also above it. But if you use this TD sequential, you're on a +8 day. So theoretically, a lot of times it'll go to a 9 like it did right here, and it's going to sell off some. Anywhere from 1 to 4 bars at least. You could totally reverse if you get a top out signal. If your momentum indicators and everything's above your top line over here, I would look for some kind of reversal, most likely. At least you just almost got to figure on at least a 4-day reversal. Sometimes it'll, maybe it goes 3. Sometimes you just get a 1 bar bar 10 reversal and it shoots right back up. I mean, it just depends on how much momentum's behind it, how much how much strength. I mean, it could be a big news event behind it. It could be, if they're promoting it, doing whatever they're doing. Trump coin's stopped out. Better watch that thing. But let's see what's going on with that. It's been kind of stale here lately. It's been kind of going sideways, kind of boring. I don't know. I'm about to give up on it. It's a meme coin. It's not really. We get closer to the election, I think these will do a lot better, and they're going to have their day in the sun eventually. And early everything's gonna pop. I'm guessing somewhere closer to the halving date, maybe somewhere around the 13th to the 20th of April. I think we could see a pretty good rally point. And then we're showing another strong point sometime about the middle of May until July 2nd. I think that's your bread and butter, what they call a sweet spot for the year. I would say middle of May until 1st of July. Usually that's a decent time. I mean, historically May hasn't been a great time of the year to trade Bitcoin, but because of the halving event, I think it's going to attract more attention. The more and more the CNBC and everybody talks about it, I think it'll draw some attention to the industry. But so we'll see what happens. But that's an easy way to, like I say, to see what's going on here. It's giving me the same signal. Like I say, it's an easy way to track and see, if you want to look for something to trade or look for something that's moving. See, like right here, I pulled up Sushi and it went straight to Binance. I don't know why it does that when I'm looking. I mean, I specifically only want to look at MEXC and Coinbase. It may just do it by default, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it does it alphabetically. But Sushi is definitely set up today. Today's March 29th, 2024. But so it's definitely set up above the 18-day. That's two closing bars. As long as it closes above that today, and your shorter time frame is crossing above that, that's a buy signal right there. Ideally, you'd want to see your 9 do the same thing, which it'll probably do it over here. But like most time, I can show you on a chart somewhere. Like over here, when all your moving averages combine together, a lot of times they'll squeeze together and then they cross over each other. So you want your shorter time frame on top. That's my 4-day moving average, the yellow line. And then the green line, that's my 9-day moving average. And then the light blue is my 18-day moving average. That's what I use religiously. I mean, that's I set it up that way because I just like those time frames. It's based off of the TD sequential rules on a 4-day moving average. So a lot of times, if you're short-term trading, if you get a close below this 4-day moving average, especially 2 days below it for confirmation, a lot of times it's a good time to sell. You're pretty close to the top because your price action is going to reverse. Now, for how long? Who knows? I mean, I would say at least your 3 to 4 days, at least 1 to 4 days reversal. And it did. It went down 5 days. And then it bounced. But so now, I mean, this one gets a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, but it gets a fair amount of trading. It's an exchange, Sushi, swap. It's perpetual, so you can, but if you just want to trade the regular one, Sushi, just type in USDT probably if you're going to use offshore broker. Now you got to use a VPN, but if like I said, if you're in a country where they have senior citizens for presidents, Yeah. Yeah, so you see the regular one is the same thing. It's not perpetual, so it's not shortable on this type ticker symbol. So you can't bet against it on this ticker symbol, but you can buy the spot price. So you're just buying, hoping it goes up, just like a stock. That's all you're doing. Now I like to check the weekly. So this I don't like seeing. If you're on a 9 week, it's went up 9 weeks pretty much in a row. Now you did have one down week that reset it. That's not good odds right there. Normally, by my rules, I like to sell half on week number 9. That's my new rule. Nearly all my rules are written in blood and lost money. so I mean, not financial advice, but this is what I'm going to start doing. When I see a 9 count, I try to set a reminder that Sunday at 7 o'clock p.m., I'm going to sell half. If I'm in this thing, I'm selling half. On a weekly basis, you see a 9 count, take the profit, take the money, because I almost guarantee you 90% of the time you're going to go just like right here back in November. Yeah, that was December actually. It shot up. It started in October, went up through December, 1st of December, 4th of December. And he topped out on your 7 bar, but so if you would have taken profit, so take some profit on the 7, 8, and 9 week, at the end of the week, at least you got some of your money out at the top, close to the top, before this significant pullback. I mean, it was what? I don't know. Let's measure it. Let's see. I'm not that good at math to do it in my head, but you pull back almost 37% that you gave up in profits because you didn't sell right here. That's most people's problem, is you don't know when to sell. And if you don't get out, you're going to give up those profits back. But, now if you're if you're thinking super long term, if you're in this for the next 2 years, don't listen to that. Just, you can put it on a monthly chart, you can put it on whatever, a quarterly chart, put it on a 3-month chart. On a monthly, you're only on bar 6. So, that could go up another 3 months. Theoretically. I think we're going to have a pretty good year for the most part. The stock market's just booming right now. And eventually, the stock market is going to have a little pullback. I'm guessing sometime between mid-April to May, I think the stock market's probably going to get back some profit. But at some point, I've been saying that for 18 weeks. So, who knows? I could be dead wrong. But that's what the forecast shows. But the crystal ball, nobody's got one, but I can guess with the best of them. But so here's a 3-month chart, quarterly. This is probably what Warren Buffett trades on. It's only on a 2 count going up. So who knows? This thing could. Let's look at Bitcoin on that. Let's take a look at Binance. I like to use Binance for Bitcoin just because they're one of the biggest brokers. They get used the most. Well, they used to. I don't know if they still do or not, but I haven't checked that in a while. But so Bitcoin's on a 4 quarterly. So if you're looking at a two-year trade, that's probably not a bad time frame to look at. Put this on a 3-month. You may have to set that up yourself, but you can customize it. You just add a custom interval right here, and set up your 3-month time frame. And add it, star it. You got to click your star button to save it to your column up here. But monthly is not a bad time frame to go off of. It's on a 6, so it could go up another 3 months to complete your 9 count. I like to use this Heikin-Ashi candlestick. If you don't have this TD sequential, you can click this Heikin-Ashi candlestick setting, You can start. You can save it as your favorite. Just click your star button over here on Heikin-Ashi down here. Click your star button. That's going to save it up here to your favorites, and then once it's on Heikin-Ashi, it's going to say it right here by your ticker symbol, and it just kind of smooths out your trend, is the way it does. That's how it works. So it's an easy way. You could just count these, 1 through 6, and you can tell it's went up, theoretically 6 months in a row. So by TD sequential rules, once you get your 9 count, if this goes up 9 months in a row, I would start looking for some kind of correction. I'm not saying you're going to go down 9 months, but a lot of times you will get, a decent size correction. And like back here in May of 21 or April, May was definitely a bad month. Went down 19% that month. From the top to the bottom, that was a rough time period. I do remember that very well. That was 55% drop in about 2 months. that was a bad summer around my house. Let's see if that's the same. If you go to regular candlestick, I think it's the same thing. But yeah, right there's a lower low. 55%. It was almost, some of the altcoins were down probably 60 to 80%. It was brutal. I just rolled a bunch of money into Ethereum. I remember that. Yeah, Ethereum went down a whole lot more than that. Let's see, where did it go? To the very low, it went down 81.89%. Yeah. Yeah, that hurt. That hurt pretty bad. That was, let's see, from the top to the bottom, yeah. Well, that was December. Now, I'm looking at May. I want to see May. What did it do in May? That was the bear market. So May, it went down almost 61% in 2 months is what it did. Well, that was a rough 2 months, man. Woo, man, that was rough. So, anyway, so you really, you don't want to get caught in those because, man, it's just stressful. When you're underwater like that, it is just stressful as it can be, So why put yourself through that if you don't have to? That's why I told myself then I would start using some kind of profit-taking system. So just keep that in mind. And anyway, I'll end this video. I don't want to ramble on too long, but just keep your screening pairs. This is how you screen for it, movers, and you can go to a 4-hour or whatever, to find stuff that's moving. On a 4-hour basis too. I like looking. Here's XRP. It's moving. Bobo. Look for ones that you recognize. CAS. There's CAS. Let's pull up CAS. I got out of CAS the other day because it wasn't playing nice like everything else was supposed to be doing. But I thought it was gonna. Be a really hot coin, but it's went up a lot. You got to keep in perspective, something that's went up 500% in the last 6 months. I mean, you gotta expect, some kind of correction. It's gonna correct. It's not gonna go just straight up. I wish it did. That'd be a whole lot easier to get rich, but that's the hard part is sitting through the down days. So, I use the Heikin-Ashi a lot. It's kind of choppy on a regular candlestick. You can't really see. I'm looking, all right, did this hit a 9 count or not? It got kind of choppy. And you put it on Heikin-Ashi, yeah, it went to a 9 count, and then it rallied. 10 bar was kind of flat. And then, after your 1 count on the green, your green 1 count here, that's usually a decent buy signal, especially if you're above your 4 moving average. simple moving average. That'd be on a 4 hour. I call that a 4 hour, 4 and 4 simple moving average. So I definitely watch out for that. See, that's topped out and it's rolled back over, so you're kind of late to the party on this one. I'll probably leave that alone. I like to see these -9s. You get a down leg of a -9. I like to see that, and then a lot of times you can get a pretty easy money bounce. At least a 24-hour bounce most time for a short-term trade. Now, if you're looking at daily or weekly, everything's getting a little. This one's not a great example, but it's on a down, what I call a -3. So it's went down technically 3 weeks in a row, even though this was an up week. But this one's down 7% this week on this CASPA. So I don't like seeing that. It's broken the trend line. But that's not a great trend line. I probably won't drop that down. But let's see, daily, yeah. I mean, ideally, you should have held this trend line right here. That's not good. Once you broke this and you went down below it, now ideally you need to get back above this trend line. You need to close above that. So I'm going to just delete this one because that one's toast. It's been broken. I'm not in this anymore, so I need to get out of that. It hit my stop loss. I had to cut it. Glad I did because it did go lower. It went lower here. I mean, it has bounced since then, but on a daily time frame. But until you close above this trend line, you don't have, the momentum is still to the downside. So your likelihood, your probability of odds of it going up are less until it gets above that. So I'm going to set an alert on it, crossing up once per bar, a 4 hour. I remind myself to go to a 4 hour, look at a 4 hour chart to buy in, is what I'm saying here. That's what I like to do. If I don't have a 4 hour setup, that's a little better way to time your buy point, your what I call your trigger. When to pull the trigger, to buy in. And I'll go to a 4 hour. I like a good setup on the 4 hour. Ideally, you get this -9, and then I'd go to a 1 hour chart. And ideally, again, if you can get a -9 on a 1 hour, you can buy in at the end of this hour, and a lot of times you're set up for a decent bounce, like you did here. But you see, you went to your 9 count, your 10 bar was flat. A lot of times it does, and then I've kind of been testing this. If your 9 bar is going up, 9 or 10 bar, it seems like that's a future indication of which way price movement's probably going to go. There again, it's not everything, nothing's going to work 100% of the time. I use this Ichimoku a lot. See, it bounced right off the bottom of the cloud right here, your price action. Shot back up. Now it's got to get through the top of the cloud. That's going to be your next resistance on a 1 hour basis. That's not, but you're going to run into some trouble here at 14 cents, most likely, a little resistance. Didn't work that great on this one. It shot below the cloud. Now it's back inside the middle of the cloud, or at least the bottom of the cloud. So, I mean, you could shoot up here, 14, 15 cents on this one in the next, 24 hours or so. But right now, it seems you're geared towards the bottom, the downside. Most likely, it's going to continue to sell off, even though these are negative, but they have higher lows right here. You can put a trend line on this and see what I'm saying. See if you can mark that. You can clearly see it's drifting to the upside. So, like I said, there's no guarantee. I check my momentum. It's leaning towards the downside, but I mean, it is kind of curving. It's curving, what I call fish hooking. If this will fish hook and cross back above this red moving average or whatever it is, I guess that's a stochastic RSI, whatever they call that. I think that's the K or the D. I'm not sure. One of them's a little faster than the other one. So I go to the 1 hour. It's bottomed off a 9. It's on bar 4. That's a decent time to buy in, probably. I mean, it's not perfect. You know, like I say, you're coming off of a top here. So you could come down probably 3-4 bars on a 4-hour basis. You're looking at a 16-hour pullback, which, you know, you've already completed almost at least 10 hours of that. So you get one more candlestick to the downside, and then you might get a rally, you know, just because you didn't complete your 9 count right here. So a lot of times once you reverse your trend, if you don't get a perfect sell setup, which would be 9 bars in a row going up, then a lot of times you'll reverse 1 to 4 bars and then continue your trend to the upside. Most likely until about 7 a.m. Tomorrow. This should drift towards the upside. Here again, you can go to your Ray, click it right there to there. That's your lowest low point from your lowest low right here. So that's drifting to the upside. Again, you made a higher low right here if this continues to the upside. So there's a lot of ifs in there. So it's not a perfect setup, you know, and your daily is not great. I mean, it's on a downtrend. You know, it's on a -5 below the cloud. That's a lot of weakness. That's more selling than there are buyers. So the price action's probably going to drift down in here, my guess, long term. Looks like somewhere around April 3rd, maybe 2nd to the 3rd. You can draw your little paintbrush thing here. You kind of, you know, my guess is probably comes up here, bumps its head on the cloud, pulls back, makes a lower low or a higher low daily, and then it should rocket out. But no guarantee. It's all subject to, you know, doing what it wants. I guess I could look at I could put the crystal ball on it right quick, see what it does. Let's pull CAS USDT. I can't chart CAS. Dadgummit. What about USD? Nope, I can't chart it. Well, let's just see what you know. If you track what Bitcoin's doing, most of your smaller coins are going to do the same thing anyway. So, come on, bro. Well, there's my email for everybody to spam me if you want to. Just don't sell my email to, you know, transgender sex change operation clinic or nothing like that. But, let's see. We'll go to Williams Cycle for a daily crystal ball. This is the best thing I've found. I mean, I don't know how this thing works, but it's fairly accurate for the most part. I mean, it doesn't always work, but the guy that created this was Larry Williams, and so he says, you know, if your price action isn't following it, it's almost like a divergence, a bearish divergence indicator. You can use it in the opposite. You know, you can bet the other way if it's not following it. And like right here, it did. It followed. It was predicting an up move. We got it, you know, off the bottom. You know, it bottomed out somewhere over in here, you know, February of 24. We got it. We got the rally. It predicted, it was saying a little bit of a sell-off right here. We got that. It was a little early on this rally call, but we did get the rally right here. Now, it was showing down from here to there. Actually showing down till about April 1st, what Bitcoin shows. So right now you're just kind of going flat. So, that's actually showing strength where we should have sold off after March 21st until April 1st. That's showing strength against what this is predicting. So that's actually a really good sign that Bitcoin's probably going higher, especially right here. So from April 1st till April 15th, you've got pretty good odds of the price action going higher. It may not be straight up. You're going to have your little down days. You're going to have little head fakes. You may get something around this solar eclipse day on the 8th of April. Be careful on that. We may get at least a 2-day drop. The 8th, 9th. I'd say the 8th and the 9th, maybe even the 10th, could be pretty rough. So I don't know. I may just cash out and wait. I think, like I said, I think your sweet spot's over here in May. Now it's still showing selling off short term pretty hard from about middle April straight down, even through middle of May. It's not showing a bounce. You can go 66 candlesticks in the future. That's showing June 2nd. You're still coming down on a pretty big downtrend here. You could draw you a trend line on that and see it a lot better, but I guess you could do that on this. Yeah, here we go. So you can definitely tell that's to the downside, pretty significant. But it's no guarantee that it's going to work. Weekly, it doesn't work as good weekly on this. You're better off using a seasonality time frame. That's what Larry says on weekly. But if you get both saying the same thing, he does say that's, let's see, put a seasonality on it. Let's see what it shows. It's showing a top pretty much this week. Could be a possible top, seasonality wise. It's based on the time of the year. That shows most likely a sell-off until June, July. Historically, that's what Bitcoin has done this time of year. These kind of argue with each other a lot. This one's showing a rally, this one's showing sell-off, so which one do you listen to? But this one doesn't work as good on a weekly time frame, so I would probably listen to the blue one. Just see which one's been working the best, I guess, on a time frame. It called this rally, and we got it, up until this week. Now, are we going to get the sell-off? This would be week of April 22nd. We show a little bounce from the 15th to the 22nd. Historically, that's seasonal-wise. And then seasonal down until July 8th. But, and then we show after that point, we get a pretty good second half of the year, into the fall. Not counting this August to September 16th time frame. You usually get a pullback. Sometime in October, usually you're going to get a pretty good rally. October, November, historically pretty good months for Bitcoin. November, even through December, most of it mostly up. That's what that shows. November 25th till the end of the year, pretty much straight up. You get a little zigzag right here, but get a little sell-off early January, and then another rocket to the upside, looks like. small correction in February, and then goes back up usually. But so that's the crystal ball in a nutshell. But so just keep that in mind. Play around with this, see what works for you, back test it. You can trade on paper till you get comfortable with it. That's what I'd recommend to do. But so anyway, we'll catch y'all on the next one. Hey, be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you don't mind. If you like this content, leave me a comment if you want me to chart something for you or show you something, a different indicator or whatever. I'll try to see if we can all get rich in the next 2 years. Catch y'all later.